You're not tired, you're not confused, you're just stuck in your head, overthinking every move, paralyzed by your own mind that ends today. Indecision is the real enemy. It wears a disguise, pretending to be wisdom, patience, strategy. But make no mistake, it's a lie. While you sit there weighing every option, overanalyzing every detail, life is moving. The world is shifting, and the enemy, he's not waiting, he's advancing, he's adapting. He's executing. You think standing still keeps you safe. It doesn't, it makes you a target. Overthinking doesn't protect you, it paralyzes you. It's fear wearing the mask of intelligence. You play scenarios in your head, one after another, hoping one will feel perfect, flawless, risk-free. But perfection is a myth. The mission is never going to feel perfect. There's always going to be risk. There's always going to be uncertainty. That's war, that's life. And the person who wins isn't the one who knows everything. They're the one who moves. Action beats analysis every single time. You want clarity, you won't find it in your thoughts. You'll find it in motion, in doing, in failing, in adjusting. That's where growth happens. That's where courage is built. But as long as you're stuck in that loop, hesitating, doubting, stalling, you'll stay exactly where you are, frozen, defeated, weak. Indecision is death by 1,000 thoughts. One missed opportunity becomes two. One moment of hesitation turns into a habit. Before you know it, you've trained your mind to wait, to second, guess, to freeze when the pressure's on. And if you do that long enough, you'll forget how to move at all. This ends now. You don't need 100 plans. You don't need every angle covered. What you need is commitment. Choose a direction, lock in, execute, learn on the move, because even if the first step is wrong, it's still a step. You can adjust your course, you can shift your strategy, but you can't shift anything if you're standing still. Discipline yourself to act, force the decision, make the call, because life rewards movement, not perfection. If you want progress, if you want power, you have to be willing to move before you're fully ready. There is no perfect moment, there is only now, and if you don't take it, someone else will, so tighten your grip. Clear your mind, set your jaw, and move. Clarity comes from action, not thought. You can sit there and think all day, run simulations in your mind, weigh the pros and cons, analyze the risks, but the truth is, no amount of thinking will ever replace movement. You want to know what works, you want to know what's right, you want the answer, then step into the chaos, step into the unknown, because that's where clarity lives. It doesn't sit in the comfort of your mind. It waits out there, in the mud, in the grind, in the storm of real life. You don't need more ideas, you don't need more debate. What you need is motion, direction, contact, experience. You learn what works by doing. You learn what's true by facing it. That's how warriors operate, that's how leaders rise, not by theory, but by execution. The fog doesn't clear when you sit still, it thickens. Confusion multiplies in silence. Doubt grows in inaction, but when you start moving, when your boots hit the ground, something changes. The noise in your head gets drowned out by focus. The hesitation gets crushed by discipline. The fear gets burned away by forward motion. Even if you're unsure, move. Even if you're scared, move. Because motion creates momentum, and momentum creates power. The man who keeps going builds confidence, not from knowing the answer, but from being willing to find it through the fire. You've been taught to wait until you're ready. That's wrong. You'll never be ready. You'll never know enough, and that's the point. You grow by going. You find your edge by pushing past it. You don't gain clarity sitting in your comfort zone. You earn it in the trenches, step by step, hit by hit, mission by mission, when you act with discipline, even when you're unsure. That's when breakthroughs happen. That's when leadership is forged. That's when purpose is uncovered. Not in a quiet room full of thoughts, but out there under pressure, under load, under fire. So stop waiting for the perfect strategy. Stop searching for the perfect time. Take the shot, make the call. And if it's wrong, good, now you know, adjust, correct, move again. Every move forward is more valuable than 1,000 perfect plans that never leave your mind. Clarity is a reward for the bold. It's earned, not imagined. You don't unlock it with thoughts, you earn it with steps, you carve it out with sweat, and when you look back, you'll see every time you acted, you got stronger. Every time you moved, the path got clearer. So stop overthinking, get up, lock in, and go. You don't need 100 plans. You need one mission that matters, one direction that sets your fire, one target that makes all the noise fade away. Because when your mind is scattered, when you chase too many things, you go nowhere. You spin in circles, exhausted but ineffective, busy but not productive. Focus is a weapon, and the more you narrow your vision, the more power you generate. That's how you win, not by doing everything, but by locking in on one thing and doing it with relentless intensity. The world tells you to multitask, to keep your options open, to plan for everything. That's weakness. That's fear pretending to be strategy. Because when you're focused, you have to commit. And commitment is uncomfortable. It means burning the other bridges. It means betting on yourself. And most people won't do it, but you're not most people. You don't need a perfect blueprint. You need direction, action, discipline. Perfection is a trap. You wait for everything to line up, but it never will. And while you hesitate, your time slips away, your energy drains, your opportunity passes. But when you simplify, when you cut the noise and aim at one target, you become dangerous. The mission is what matters. The mission gives you purpose. Every plan, every step, every task should serve the mission. If it doesn't, eliminate it. Cut the excess. You don't need more, you need less. Less distraction, less doubt. Less decision fatigue. Simplify, then dominate. And once the mission is clear, execute with full force, without apology, without second guessing. You don't stop to check every angle. You don't waste time wondering if it's the best possible move. You commit, you prioritize, you execute, and if the path changes, you adapt. But you never lose sight of the objective. This isn't about hustle culture. This isn't about burning out. It's about precision. Ruthless clarity, knowing what matters and cutting everything that doesn't. That's power. That's how leaders lead. That's how warriors win. Too many plans, that's noise. Too many choices, that's weakness. One mission, that's strength. That's control. That's focus. The kind that breaks through walls and doesn't stop until the job is done. So stop trying to do it all. Stop trying to be perfect. Lock in on what actually matters. Define the mission, then attack it with discipline, with urgency, with everything you've got. One mission, one mind, one direction. That's how you win. Fear wears the mask of logic. It doesn't scream. It whispers. It doesn't say, "I'm scared." It says, "Wait a little longer." It tells you to think it over, to be smart, to be cautious, to plan more, prepare more, analyze again. On the surface, it sounds reasonable, wise even. But underneath, it's fear, dressed up in a disguise, playing smart so it can keep you stuck. That voice in your head that tells you to hold back, that isn't clarity, that isn't strategy, that's fear pretending to protect you. It's trying to keep you in the safe zone where there's no pain, no risk, no failure. But guess what? There's no progress there either, no growth, no greatness, just slow decay. Fear is subtle, it's sneaky. It doesn't always show up as panic or dread. Sometimes it comes as comfort. Sometimes it wears the suit of logic. It says, "This isn't the right time," or "Let's wait for more data," or "You need more experience before you start." But behind every excuse is the same truth: you're afraid. And fear wins when you believe its lies. But there's a way out. One way. You kill fear with action. You kill it by moving forward anyway, even if your hands shake, even if your stomach turns, even if your mind still wants to run. You move, you act, you speak, you take the shot, and the second you do, fear starts to shrink. Action is the enemy of fear, because action takes you out of your head and into reality. And reality is almost never as bad as fear made it seem. That conversation you were afraid of, it's done. That challenge you avoided, it wasn't perfect, but you survived, you moved, and now you're stronger for it. Fear thrives in silence. It grows in delay. It feeds on hesitation. The longer you wait, the louder it gets. But when you confront it, when you call it out, you take back control. You realize it was never logic, it was never reason, it was resistance. And it's your job to crush it. So the next time that voice says, "Be careful," look closer. The next time it tells you you're not ready, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this wisdom or is this fear wearing a mask? Don't let fear win just because it's dressed up in intelligence. Don't mistake hesitation for planning. Don't confuse comfort for clarity. You want to move forward, then act, move through the fog, cut through the noise. And when fear rises again, and it will, don't run, don't wait, don't overthink. Discipline kills overthinking. You don't outthink your doubts, you outwork them. You don't silence the noise in your head by sitting with it. You silence it by moving, building, doing. That voice that tells you you're not ready, not good enough, not sure. It fades the second your boots hit the ground, the second your hands get to work. Action shuts it up. But not just random action, disciplined action, focused, intentional, ruthless. Because discipline isn't just about getting things done, it's about control. It's about turning chaos into order. It's about training your mind to obey your mission. And when discipline is present, overthinking doesn't stand a chance. There's no room for doubt when you're fully engaged in execution, when you wake up early, even when you don't feel like it, discipline. When you stick to the plan, even when it's uncomfortable, discipline. When you keep going, even when every part of you wants to stop, discipline. That's where strength is forged, not in motivation, not in emotion, but in consistent, committed action. Overthinking is a luxury the disciplined mind can't afford. While others are spinning in their heads, running in circles, trying to figure out the perfect move, you're already 10 steps ahead. Because you didn't wait for the answer, you became the answer through action, through repetition, through sheer force of will. You want to escape the loop of hesitation, start moving, build momentum. Because movement creates clarity, discipline sharpens that clarity. It gives your mind a purpose, a job, something to focus on that isn't just spinning fear. When your hands are building, your body grinding, your mind doesn't have time to destroy you. It's too busy keeping up. That's the secret. You don't solve doubt by thinking about it. You don't eliminate fear by analyzing it. You kill it by outworking it. You bury it in reps, in sweat, in time under tension. The disciplined man doesn't have perfect thoughts. He has habits, habits that override the chaos, habits that show up on the days his confidence doesn't, habits that crush excuses before they even form. Overthinking is a trap, but discipline is the weapon that cuts through it. When you show up day after day, no matter how you feel, that's how you win. That's how you beat the storm in your head. You don't beg it to stop. You drown it in discipline, so when the voices come, and they will, don't answer them with more thought. Answer them with movement, with execution, with action so loud it silences everything else. Doubt dies in the presence of discipline. Every single time, take the hit, then keep going. Maybe the move wasn't perfect. Maybe you missed. Maybe you fell flat on your face. So what? That's not the end. That's the beginning. That's intel. That's data. That's the raw material you use to come back sharper, harder, smarter. Every failure is a lesson wrapped in pain. And if you're disciplined enough to face it, to feel it, to learn from it, it becomes a weapon. A tool, fuel. You don't grow by winning every round. You grow by taking the hit and standing back up, by refusing to fold, by refusing to make excuses, by refusing to let one mistake define the mission. Weak minds run from failure. They hide from discomfort. They wait for the perfect setup so they never have to fall. But the perfect setup doesn't exist, and the man who waits for it, he never moves. This world doesn't reward perfection. It rewards resilience, the ability to absorb impact and keep charging forward. You want to build strength, then stop avoiding the hit, take it, own it, learn from it, and then keep going. One step, one punch. One rep at a time. Every hit you take reveals something, where your weaknesses are, where your strategy needs to tighten up, what gear failed, what mindset cracked. That's not defeat, that's a blueprint. A tactical advantage, if you choose to see it that way. If you're willing to look your failure in the eye and extract the lesson, you win, you evolve, and next time you hit harder. But if you freeze, if you let fear take control, then you're done. If you hesitate after the hit, you give the enemy the edge. You give your mind time to spiral. You give doubt time to spread. You must keep moving, always. Movement is life. Hesitation is death. Don't expect every move to be clean. Don't expect every plan to go smoothly. That's fantasy. This is war. It's messy. It's brutal. And if you're going to survive it, if you're going to win it, you need grit. You need the courage to mess up, wipe the blood off your face, and launch another attack. You will fall, you will get it wrong, but what defines you is not the fall, it's what you do next. The disciplined warrior doesn't dwell, he doesn't whine, he recalibrates, reloads, re-engages, because the mission is bigger than the mistake. So take the hit, feel the sting, let it teach you, let it shape you, but never let it stop you. The mission isn't over until you win, until you've given everything, until there's nothing left to give. So adapt, adjust, attack again and again and again. That's how you build something unbreakable. That's how you win.